it has a yoke v-neck, it has a little pleat on the sleeve, and it's like a tiered dress at the bottom. So this is what I'm going to be using. Guys, you can go ahead and draw out your basic bodice pattern. So I didn't want to waste you guys time, so I drew my pattern already. I have the back panel and then I have the front panel. So with just the basic bodice pattern, you see my darting in front, the darting at the back. So basically you fold your fabric into two. Normally you then come down 1 inch on the shoulder slope, insert your armhole, give it a curve here for the front armhole, and then you're going to mark the normal neckline. So I'm going to first cut out the back neckline, and then I'm going to cut the front neckline. So this is going to be the back, and then I'm going to cut the front also. And then the next thing, guys, you might need about 3 yards of Akara fabric to make this, or even more depending on your size, or like 3.5 is what I'm saying. So guys, after that, the next thing I'm going to do now is just to mark from my shoulder. If you look at it, you will see that the yoke went from the tip of the shoulder. So you can do from the edge of your shoulder so that it will go into your sleeve, or if you want, you can come in a little bit. And another thing is that the neckline is a little bit wider, so I'm going to widen my neckline because it's almost like a boat neck, but I'm not going to make mine as wide, because normally when you want to make a boat neck, it's just this basic. Once you remove your 3 inches of basic neckline, whatever is left here, you divide it by 2. So whatever is left here, for me, that's 5, because my shoulder measurement was my full shoulder measurement was 8 when I drew it out, right? So I removed 3 for the basic neckline. Whatever is left, you split it into 2 and then connect it this way, just like that, and then you have your boat neck. That's how boat neck is made. But for this one here, I don't want to make it a boat neck, so I'm just going to widen the neckline a little bit. So this other second half, I'm going to split it into another half and then open it up more. So this is going to be my neckline now. So guys, I widened my neckline a little bit. So for the back, if you want, you can just widen it this way, or if you want, you can just bring it down and make it the same length as the front, but I just did it this way. So guys, next thing you're going to do is just to go from this here. If you have a longer ruler, that's even better. So you're going to go from, and remember, this front one is going to be on a fold, right? But the back is going to be ×2, and this is the zipper allowance here, right? Just how you draw your normal basic bodice is what you're doing here. So from the tip here, if you want, you can go from the tip. If you want, you can come in a little bit, and then you're going to connect it all the way to the edge. But before you get to the edge, do about 1 inch, like spread it out by about 1 inch or 0.75, because if you look at it, it's not V directly, it has some space in between for the yoke. So I'm just going to do about 0.75, not up to 1 inch. So guys, this is what I'm trying to say. It depends on you how you want to do yours. If you want, you can do about just from the edge of the sleeve. If you want, you can do inside of the sleeve. So what I'm going to do is from the edge, I'm going to just connect it to this ½ inch. Like what I'm saying is, if you look down here, you see that there's a space in between here. I don't know if you guys can see it. So just like that, I'm going to connect mine. So guys, now that I've marked this line across, I'm just going to cut off the back neckline, because my back, I'm not going to be giving it any yoke. The back is just going to be a normal basic back pattern, but the front is where I'm going to have this pleat and ruffles. So I'm going to just cut off the back neckline now, just so I can cut off the wideness, right? So that's exactly what I need. So my back is done. I'm going to cut 2 pieces of this, and then it has the darting. But for the front, I'm going to remove more, just to cut off the excess also. So guys, after that, now I'm going to cut a straight line. Just follow this line, and then I'm going to trace it on my fabric. So guys, you see, this is my front panel now. I'm going to cut this here, but I'm going to leave about ½ inch at the center here to join it, and ½ inch on this one also to join it. So, but this part here is going to be on a fold, because this is the center of my bodice, right? So the same thing for my back panel, but instead of cutting it on a fold, the back is going to be open because of there's a zip coming in. Zip here. This is the center part. This is the other side of it. So guys, I'm going to show you what it looks like now. So this center one, like I said, you're supposed to cut it on a fold, and if you see, I cut this on a fold. So this is going to be the center part, and then you see the side, I cut it separately. And another thing you're going to do is to notch it so that you know how to put in your dart. You see where my dart is, I notched it, this triangle here, so I transferred it to the fabric also. So I'm going to take this one now, place it on this side, and then I'm also taking this one here to put on this other side. So you see, but before I do that, I already cut out about 3.5 inches width of fabric and then made it very long so that I will use it. Once I fold the edge, I'm going to take it now, fold the edge this way, fold the edge like how you fold your normal cloth, and then I'm going to take it and pleat it on one side, right? Pleat it on this side of this cloth and then use this one to top it up. So I'm going to do that now so that I can show you guys what I'm saying. So guys, this is it here. You see what I'm saying? You're going to take the ruffle that you made, fold the edge, and then you're going to place it on this side of the cloth and just pleat it as you go. Just keep on pleating it as you're going up. By pleating, I mean just spread it on top of this side like this on the same edge, and then you're going to fold it. Fold it. Just fold it like this. Fold it like this. Just like that, and then you're making the pleat and sewing it as you're going. So you see, I've done this side, and then I joined this to this just to show you guys. So now I'm going to take this side, turn it around this way, and join it over on this side. Make a stitch to hold this one down. And guys, as you can see, I already also picked my dart underneath this. So you see, when I was cutting it, I made sure to avoid my dart. You see how I cut it here? It went straight into the center. So when I pick my dart, it's not going to interfere with this line, just like how you can see it here. When I picked my dart, you see where my dart is here. So guys, I'm going to take this one, join this to the other side of it, and then I'm going to take my back panel. So this is my, so guys, this is my back panel. What I like to do, just so that my zip will relax, is to go up 1 inch at the back and then blend it in a straight line to the edge. But I try not to make it reach to the side seam. So you see, blend it in an angle, just like this. Go up 1 inch from here and then take your ruler, blend it into this line like an angle. This helps your center, because remember, this is the zipper side, right? It helps it to relax. So guys, now all I have to do, once I join this now, I'm going to take it and join this to the back panel. So you see, I have two back panels. I'm going to just put it here and then join the shoulder to the shoulder. So guys, this is it here. But guys, if you want to join it to the back, right, if you also want this to extend all the way to the back and you want this type of thing at the back, guys, all you have to do is the same way you joined it to the front, you're also going to go ahead and mark it at the back, like the same thing we did in front. You're also going to take it that way to the back, just like that, and extend this and mark yours. Cut it out that way. The two shoulder, the two from the front, the ruffle from the front and the ruffle from the back can meet up here, and then you join it together and it's going to flow over the shoulder. But you see, for me here, I went back in and sewed close the edge here because it's just in front. So I stopped about 1/2 inch before the end of this, so that I can be able to tuck this into this the shoulder seam. And you see, this thing, I already made a stitch here and ended it, so it doesn't go in here. I stopped 1/2 inch, and that 1/2 inch is what I used to join the shoulder of the back and the front. You see, the back side and the front, this is where it ends. So now if I go to join my sleeve, I'm just going to take my sleeve and join it using this 1/2 inch at this very end here to join it. So guys, I'm going to go ahead now and show you guys how I'm going to cut my sleeve. So guys, this is the sleeve I'm working with. I'm using about 9.5 inches of length. I'm using about 9.5 here because I'm still going to add the ruffle at the end. If you see, notice the same pleat of ruffle is going to be here. So the width I have here is just my armhole divided by 2 plus about 1.5. That's the width I have. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 4 inches down from this here. Just draw your basic sleeve and then find halfway through this point to this edge here. Mark that. So for me, that's going to be 11.5. Mark it here. Give it a curve above and then a curve below. That's basically my sleeve. Measure the sleeve width I'm working with, which is going to be 14. Divided by 2 is 7. Mark it, add 1 inch of seam allowance, and then connect it this way. So that's basically my sleeve. I'm going to cut it from here and then go up. So guys, first I cut this side out and then cut this top part out. So guys, this is what I'm going to use for the ruffle. It depends on you. You can use round your armhole times 2. So like I said, round my sleeve width Like I said, mine is 14. I can use times 2 of that, which is going to be 28, right? So use that the same way you did for the top part. Fold your edge, and then you're going to just keep pleating it all the way around the sleeve. So that's basically it for how you're going to make your sleeve, and then you join it to the body. I also went ahead and cut out what I'm going to use for my first layer and the second layer. This is the second layer. You see it's shorter because I want my dress to be 40 inches of length, and then my shoulder to waist is 17. So guys, my shoulder to the end of my dress, which is on my knee, is 40 inches. But then my half length, which is my shoulder to my waist, is 17. That was what we used for the bodice part, right? And then 17 from this 40, I'm left with 23 to share between these two layer of the tiered part, right? So I have 23 to split between this upper part and the lower part. I decided, since the upper part is longer, I decided to make it 15 and then make this lower part 8. That's how I split this 23. It depends on you. If you want, you can make your upper part smaller. Like by smaller, I mean shorter in length. So you can split it and change it to maybe 10 and then 13. Like 10 at the top, 13 at the bottom. It depends on you how you want to split your tier. But whatever you decide to use, just know that the first layer of this tier part, you're going to add 1 inch to the length, right? Because you need half an inch at this top, half an inch at the bottom to join this upper part to your bodice, and then half an inch to join as your seam allowance to join the lower part to the tier at the bottom part. And then to this lower part, you're going to add plus 1.5 because you need 1 inch to fold the rough edge, because this is now the final closure of this cloth, and then you need the half an inch to join this lower part of this to this upper part of this. So that's basically it. So to this 8 I added 1.5, I had 9.5, and then to this 15 I added 1, so I have 16. So what I have here is 16 for my first layer of my flay, and then 9.5 for the length of my lower part of my flay. You can do so whatever you decide to use, you can do ×2 of your waist for the first layer, because if you look at the picture, it doesn't have a lot of gather. So let's say your waist is 34, you can do ×2 of that. That's for the width. We've talked about the length. The width, you can do ×2 of 34, so that's like 68 is what you're going to use for your gather. That's if your waist is 34 is what I'm working with here, right? And then with this second layer, what you're going to use is whatever width you use for this second part times 1.5 or ×2. If you have a lot of fabric to work with, you can do times 1.5 or ×2. 1.5 is what I'm actually using. So that's 64 that I got for the full gather, because remember, this first layer is together on the waist, but this second layer is together at the lower part of this one. So you need this to be the what you're using to calculate. So the 64 I got here, I times it by 1.5 or ×2. That's how I got the extra width for this one, which means this lower one is supposed to be longer. Like by width, it's supposed to be more, because it's going to need to go around this 1.5 times. You understand? So that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead now and couple mine together and add a zip at the back. I'm not using lining. I'm just going to use bias to do mine. So I'm going to couple it and show you guys. This is it here. I finished the dress, so you can see the V yoke by the neck, and then coming down here, when you go to join your gather, you have to down at this point here, you only gather the lower one. You don't gather the one on top. Just like how you attach your gather at the waist, you only gather this part, you don't gather the top part to join it. It's the same thing that applies to this bottom part. You only gather the bottom, you don't gather the one on top of it. So that's basically it. Look at what my sleeve looks like here. And then I also insert the zip at the back. As you can see, I didn't attach any of the V at the back, but you can do the same thing if you want to have the yoke in front and also the yoke at the back. So this is mine here. It has a zip. And that's basically it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like, share and subscribe. Bye.